And the third area that I want to inquire is in that bill in regards to an expansion of septic and sewer capacity, which may have profound
Mm-hmm.
waterway and environmental impact in those communities. Those are the three things that I want to be able to share with my local officials and their input. What about the environmental impact and waterway and sewer and septic capacity
Mm-hmm.
increases?
So there are two issues at play here. One is the bill would require on water pollution control authorities to reserve capacity for hypothetical future development, which may never happen, which could prevent, say a municipality wants an industrial park, they might say, we can't accommodate that. That capacity is reserved for hypothetical future housing. You're probably not speaking to that, but that could impact ratepayers and economic development. The other issue is of septic systems. So most of the state by area is not on public sewer, it's on septic systems. Public sewers are very expensive, and the state for a long time has had a sewer avoidance policy because we do not want to spread development willy-nilly all over the landscape. It has adverse environmental impacts, and sewers are incredibly expensive to build and maintain. We already have so much infrastructure we can barely afford to maintain. We do not want to increase the infrastructure burden per capita. With regards to the specific issue here, 1024 would require the Department of Public Health to create a process for what are called alternative treatment systems. And so these are essentially mini packaged water pollution control authority plants. They're sewage plants that are not publicly owned, they're privately owned, they're cut down in size, they're smaller. In concept, you could allow a higher level of development with these. The devil here is in the details. These plants, while they're smaller than a publicly owned sewage treatment facility, they are just as complicated and require the same level of expertise and oversight and maintenance. They require maintenance several times a year. Connecticut has been very judicious in how it's approached this. And these facilities have really only been used for large single tenant operations, such as a factory. They've not been used for a homeowners association. That's an important distinction. If you have familiarity with HOAs, they often defer maintenance and they have non-professionals running. What happens? The roof fails and everybody has a special assessment. The difference is when a community sewage system fails, it's not just an inconvenience to the owners. It's a public health and environmental crisis, and it likely will have to be bailed out at public expense. A neighboring state went heavily in on these several years ago, and within 5 years, approximately 50% of the systems were malfunctioning. So what this really does, 1024, is it does an end run around the regulations we have in place for septic systems in favor of something that hasn't proven itself in the marketplace and is incredibly complex and very hard for homeowners